All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the grid box, and that's going to define the area that Autodock Vina is going to search within when docking your ligand. So what we're going to do with this protein is we're going to set the grid box around the original binding pocket, and then we'll be redocking the ligand back into where it was in the crystal structure. So here is how we're going to do that. I like to go to Pymol, back to my original crystal structure file, right? I click S for sequence. You'll see this has chlorines, and all these red zeros represent the waters that have not been removed from this structure. But I'm just going to click STI to grab the ligand over here. And then I'm going to click A for action on my selection, then modify around atoms within 4 angstroms. And you see how after I clicked that, we have more stuff selected in the sequence up here. So this is an easy way to just grab the amino acids that are part of the binding pocket, and then I'm going to take these amino acids and I'm going to select them in Autodock Tools over here so that I can see where I need to be centering my grid box. So let me just take this and try to put them side by side. If I come over to Autodock Tools and I click on this little plus, and then I click on this little plus, this gives me the list of all the amino acids here. So now we can look over here. This looks like L for leucine, 248. So I'm going to scroll down to 248 and click this bubble to select it. And as I click that, this residue gets selected over here. See? All right, so let's grab a few more. Let's see, we've got Y for tyrosine, 253. Knowing your amino acid single letter and 3-letter codes is going to help a lot here. Tyrosine, 253. We've got valine, 256. Okay, so this looks like one side of the binding pocket. Let me try and grab something that'll be on the other end if I can help it. Like, this looks like leucine 370. So I'll scroll down to 370. 370. All right, leucine 370. And what else? Like aspartate 381. Okay, and so looking at these selected residues now, I can see kind of where the binding pocket's going to be. It's going to be in this little empty space in the middle of the protein here. So now we're going to go up to grid box, and it gives me this cube that I'm going to move around and reposition to where I want it. So let's see here. From the green face, I want to move this a little bit that way, so I'm going to use the green scroll bar here to try and accomplish that. Okay, that's decent. And then I think the red is about good where it's at. Well, maybe it could come back a little bit. Hang on. So let's move this that way just a touch. Okay, and do I want to move it along the blue face? Maybe down a little bit. Let's try here. Okay, so that grid box relatively encompasses the binding pocket in here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down these numbers over here for my X, Y, and Z center coordinates, and then I'm going to use these in my config file in the next step.